Holy shish kebabs. We are live, everybody. Hit the wrong one.
Shit.
No, that's... What? There we go. Okay. All right. I know which ones are which now. Holy cow. Yeah. Without our audio engineer in studio, it it gets a little weird sometimes, but welcome on everybody to our live broadcast of the podcast. And I can't wait to get started tonight because we've all had ourselves kind of a week, haven't we, gentlemen? I mean, Brant, you being in Bogota, there's some bad things that go on in Bogota.
There can be.
And then, Buttsy, you were out and about at good old Waste Management Phoenix Open, and I was out there as well. Whoa! Hang on a second. Look at this new design.
Yeah.
Do you see this new design?
I love this. It shows up like
gosh.
I mean, I can see it.
There must be an upgrade here that we just got kicked into. This is not my doing. So
Update.
It's been too long, Trot. Too long, buddy. So as people are joining in, we'll get started here in just a second. Good old... Wow, look at this. Like, it goes across the entire screen.
It's sick. It looks like a news headline.
It really does. I'm loving this. What an update. What an update.
And you don't have to press anything?
No, look at... Well, I do. No, actually, I do have to. And look at Oregon Red, my dog Buttsy. He's
New people.
Not a good speller of the word dog. But that's okay. We're not judging because I'm terrible with English, period. Buttsy knows. He's always got to make sure to pronunciate the words I say incorrectly correctly.
Pronunciate. Yes.
Let me get a tissue real quick. My nose is a bit clogged.
Wow, look at you.
I'm in. Are you in?
No,
Are you in the mind?
I'm out. I'm all out.
Are you all out? I'm locked in. Here we go.
You are locked in. Look at you. Folks, we're going to get started here in just a moment. As soon as Buttsy gets back, we will get the good old countdown going get this live podcast recording started. I know Buttsy went to go get it some booze here. Cheers, boys. So,
what do you got there, you fucker?
I got some Johnny Walker Blue, my friend.
Oh shit! That's where that went. Okay.
The studio bottle is almost gone, by the way. It is almost gone. We're gonna have to try to get some more here.
I think Blue Label. I discussed it with my father, and he was like, "Yeah, Blue Label's where you want to go with it."
Yeah.
Period. End of story.
Just a great drinking scotch. I absolutely love it. So, boys, you ready to get started here?
Absolutely.
Man, started and dearly departed. Let's go, baby.
Let's get it on the absolute road. Let me just double check my sounds here because...
Are we in?
Here we go. You guys ready? In 3, 2, 1... Welcome back, everybody, to Pull Hook Golf, the podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cook. Tonight, we've got Buttsy. We've got Brent Grant. And my goodness gracious, do we have an epic... Okay, that's enough. An epic show for all of you. We've got the tee-off report with Buttsy. Yes, folks, we're back with the tee-off report with my man Buttsy. And then we've got the Waste Management Phoenix Open that just finished up this past weekend. That was here locally. Absolutely had a blast out there. I know Buttsy did too. And then sure enough, we've got a little Corn Ferry Bogota update from our Deer Tour insider lad here, Mr. Brent Grant. And then, folks, we've got the upcoming Genesis at Tory Pines, not Riv, which is, I wonder how I'm going to be feeling this weekend because...
Absent of the big cat.
Well,
absent of the big cat.
The big cat's not playing because his mother passed away. Wasn't ready.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. She passed away last Tuesday, and sure enough, he said he's just not ready to deal with that and have to be in front of the media and so forth. But he is going to be on site, so we shall see that. But I don't know how I'm going to feel with it being at Tory Pines. Like, Riv is one of my favorite golf courses, period. So I do hope that we have a good tournament. We were just at Tory Pines a few weeks ago. I did hear
Always
there's going to
work
be
with
quite
it,
a bit
not
of
against
weather. Yeah, exactly. We've also got a LIV Golf update here, and then we've got an update on the PGA Tour deal. So finally, some movement around that entire ordeal. I've got some details for all of you. And then, folks, we do want to give a quick little shout out to our sponsor. We're rocking the gear tonight. Good old Devereux Golf. That is DEVEREUX golf.com. Butsy's got it on. I've got it on.
Trot, how do
Brett's
you
got
not
it
have
on
this
underneath.
fucking sweater, bud? It's got a pack of reds on it.
Whew. Trot, you need that hoodie, man. But
That
they just
is
had that drop
sick.
with Johnny Walker. And I tell you what, I mean, this one was from their
That's
Southwestern
beautiful.
drop, I believe. But
That's beautiful.
this is just a DG, which my wife was like, is that Dolce & Gabbana? Did you buy yourself a Dolce & Gabbana polo? I'm like,
Yep.
Devereaux, you're doing
Totally.
it right. Absolutely. I freaking love it. So here we go. Once again, go to DevereauxGolf.com. Utilize promo code PullHookGolf20 at checkout for 20%, or PullHookGolf20 at checkout for 20% off your entire order at DevereauxGolf.com. Let's get into it. We've got the tee off report with the big man, the Buttsy. And Buttsy, I got to ask you, because last week, you know, we did the Johnny Walker Devereaux Golf event at Putt Shack, and you came directly from one of those influencer events where, you know, all the cool kids get to go and play some golf. But, Buttsy, what's the worst thing about playing in one of those influencer events?
That's correct, Matthew. I did come from an influencer event. I think cool is a very relative word in that case.
People
yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah, it's you know, and I've probably been guilty of this in the past myself, especially when I first started doing social media. But this is just a cesspool of influencers that don't know one another, that act like they know one another, and just suck on each other all day, sharing stories and getting in videos and collabing and basically just trying to like pawn each other's I don't know, like siphon each other's followers, right? It's like a collective of influencers, and maybe that guy, and you can tell like good, everybody's sucking off good. How can we get in a good video? And then it kind of goes down the mountain, right? Like you can tell based on follower count, literally where the most people are hovering around, trying to get on the action and trying to be seen with those guys. And then they're sharing with them, and then there's third tier sharing and suck off, and it's just crazy.
You got to love the third tier suck off. You know what I mean?
Yes, and it's very true, and I think it goes all the way down like the food pyramid. I think we get to like 8th or 9th tier, and I don't even know what we call that.
We call that Chinese food.
Yeah, so that's how it went. That said, I saw some OGs in the game. I did walk up to and meet some people that I do follow and put a face to the name. They were really cool folks. Teal Barber, he was awesome. Sonny, who
That
used
just
to run.
sounds awesome. Teal Barber.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. And if you don't follow Teal, he's like pretty authentic. One of the funniest motherfuckers on the gram, doing original stuff, not copying other people, which is kind of my thing. So, yeah, it was fun, man. Those events, they're good and bad. It's kind of what you make of it. But for the most part, outside looking in, you can sit in the back and kind of watch this go down with all the folks, and it's very interesting.
That is that I'm, and then by the way, wasn't it like a ridiculous amount of time? Like, talk about the PGA Tour needing to speed up play.
Yeah. So we had our pod at, what was it, 3
o'clock.
So game time there was 9 o'clock in the morning. I left on the 10th tee box, and that gave me all of about 45 minutes to get up to you, if that gives you any how slow this went. I think you're actually playing 3 or 4 holes all day. The rest are like paid hole-in-ones, you know, $500, and you can we'll fly a drone up to the hole and drop the ball. Now you automatically get a 2, but if it goes in, you get a 1. Yeah, I think the winner shot like 34 under or something like that. So, yeah.
Good Lord, 34 under You gotta absolutely love that. We're getting some good comments in tonight as well. Feel free, folks, if you're on X or on YouTube watching this live, feel free to chime in. We will see your comments and we'll get them posted up here if they're good. Now, as we continue beyond the influencer side of things, we've got the Waste Management Phoenix Open that we just finished up this past weekend. And boy, oh boy, it was a pretty good event. I mean, for the most part, let me just take you guys through a quick rundown here. I know, Buttsy, you were out there on Saturday. I was out there a couple times throughout the week, Thursday especially. Got to be in the 16th suite with Devereaux Golf and Johnny Walker. But Thomas Dietrich, that whole deal, dude, I've said this numerous times in sports, that like when a guy can't overcome under pressure, they choke. And then for the next like year or so, they don't talk about anything that they've changed. And you're just like, how are you going? Like, you're just all of a sudden going to be good in that moment. Thomas Dietrich, though, he had problems closing out golf tournaments. And
that was like watching Rocco and Tiger.
It was like watching Michael Jordan drain a jumper against the Utah Jazz, my friend. Like, he did not falter, and he was cool, calm, collected. Afterwards, he talks about, I've been doing a shit ton of meditation, and when I got onto that first tee on the final round, I had no nerves whatsoever. And I'm telling you right now, it showed. That dude, and that is not an environment, by the way, that is calm, that, you know, you can just get by and without the crowd like messing with you a little bit. And yes, you had Scotty Scheffler coming up from behind. You had Jordan Spieth coming up from behind. That sounds really dirty, but Buttsy, tell me, since they were coming up from behind, like how nerve-wracking can that be?
I just think between everybody that was out there, is it Dietrich? Just
Thomas
an absolutely
Dietrich.
Electric personality, probably one of the more outgoing, entertaining people I've ever seen on tour in my life. Glad handing all the fans down 18. You couldn't even tell he was playing to win a golf tournament. So I don't know about the meditation or any of that. That didn't shine through for me. But this guy's got a lot of wins in his future. Might go out on a limb and say that he eclipses Tiger in total tour wins. You all right?
Continue.
Might let me back up. Might go out on a limb and say that he eclipses Tiger in total tour wins by the time his career is over.
Why might?
And he
Just say it.
Where is it?
Just say it.
I mean, spot on. That's exactly what I
Like
was
the
thinking.
sun coming through the clouds, you could just see it like an act of God. Like this is him. He is Neo from the Matrix, and that's what we saw. So, yeah.
Wow. That is
Didn't answer
fantastic analysis. folks, if you can't tell, I'm starting to sweat now just because of that insane, amazing analysis out of Buttsy. I mean, he's a connoisseur of sorts, of players. He knows players.
You asked, man, and I'm here to tell you, and like I haven't been wrong about any of this. So
Really authentic.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't recall the last time that you were wrong about anything. I mean, you were spot on with Anthony Kim. That was, I mean, he's back. He's back.
Been back for a long time.
Oh, man. So he wins by 7 at a crowd-infused place that is not easy to win. I mean, we've seen guys choke. We saw Sahith Theegala choke a victory, right? On 17, he hit it into the water on the left, as I recall, coming down the stretch and blew it. So, I mean, this is not an easy golf course to win, and to win by 7 over some of those names that I mentioned. And let's do a little leaderboard rundown here. So good old Michael Kim, the Twitter sensation himself. He's been really good on Twitter. 17 under T2. Daniel Berger, which we found out during the broadcast, has more of Justin Thomas's money than anybody else that Justin Thomas plays against. Christian Buzedenhout was T4 along with Jordan Spieth. Spieth looked like he was back this week. However, he still was on some adventures. He loves the wildlife in Arizona, loves hanging out with some desert animals, and sure enough, it showed. Justin Thomas, minus 15. He holed out on the last, I believe. And then Will Chandler, T6. So Will Chandler was the Monday qualifier. We'll get into that story here in a second. Robert McIntyre, T6 at 15 under. Adam Hadwin, the Canadian, at 14. Taylor Moore, 14 under. And Mav McNeely, 14 under. So that's your leaderboard wrap up there for the Waste Management Phoenix Open. And I got to give a shout out, first of all, to the Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Because they cleaned up that tournament. They knew after last year, this has gone too far. And I don't know about you, Buttsy. You were out there on the busiest day. I decided not to go Saturday. So
They rung it in, man. They brought it back to its brilliance, I think, right? Where it was right on the edge. And that's where it usually is. And that's when it's the most fun. And we saw that again this year. So I don't think people, I mean, you had a lot of variables last year. You had the rain and the mud and like shut down parking lots, lines of people that weren't intended to be marching by each other. Absolutely. Anyways, yeah, it was way better.
it was, and you could really tell because social media did not have all the clips that you normally see of just debauchery. It was all from years past. Like, I'm like, oh, I've seen that one before. Oh, I've seen that one before.
The ladies falling down the hill, sliding and stuff. Yeah.
Not a lot of that this year. That was the unfortunate thing. But yeah, I feel like they got the digital tickets going. So the past 2 years, they had it to where they just stopped checking tickets because it got too crowded. So people were calling up their friends saying, get down here. And sure enough, everybody was just getting into the golf tournament. And it was just, I talked to a cop that was out there last year, and he's like, there's over 1 million people on site right now, which is insane for a golf event. So that's why it was a bit wild and crazy in years past. But again, that's something that the Thunderbirds cleaned up, and we're greatly appreciative for, because yes, there's drunken fun and then there is debauchery, and there was some drunken fun out there, and it was all good times. So really appreciate them doing that. Let's get into, by the way, the last Monday Q ever at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Can we get a moment of silence?
What?
It's the last Monday Q ever, which Brent Grant, he decided not to play in the final Monday Q ever because he ended up getting into Bogota, which is next. But I mean, Brent, how do you feel? Let's talk to a player who actually was going to play in the Monday qualifier. What did you think about that? I mean, it being the last one.
Well, obviously it's tragic, and as we know, most PGA Tour winners, you know, that win come from the Monday qualifying category. So that's going to be a huge loss. But other than that, I have actually never played in the Waste Management Monday qualifier. It was always at McCormick Ranch, and always came at a time when I was gone. So honestly, even when I was on the PGA Tour and I didn't get into the Waste Management, it was a nice week off. So it was nice not to have to play. But honestly, we've seen this coming. We knew that, you know, a lot of things were going to change, are going to change next year. And obviously, you know, guys like Patrick Reed and the major champions that he kind of goes along with are all going to be, you know, non-existent now. So, you know, they're cutting huge portions of the PGA Tour out. So it's tragic.
It really sucks. It really does. I even posted where I'm like, man, this golf tournament changed Will Chandler's life. I mean, $300,000 finishing in the top 10. I mean, it's unbelievable.
He's actually this is his second year on tour.
No, but he had the Monday Q to get in.
Yeah, but so the reason why that is essentially the category that he was in. Category that he was in. I think he was probably like 6 or 7 out or whatever it was. But either way, I mean, it definitely changes his next week. If he wasn't in what's after Genesis. Do we remember what's after Genesis? Either way, the next full field event he's in automatically. Genesis? So his year has definitely shifted drastically.
Do they head back to the East Coast after Genesis?
I think they do go play the Cognizant. Yeah.
The Cognizant. So you got to be
Formerly known as
cognizant
the
of that.
Honda. Formerly known as the Honda.
Yeah, see, there you go. And then we got our East Coast swing, and then we got the Masters not too far away either coming up in April. So looking forward to the golf we've got going on. But you know, let's keep it moving. Keep it moving, keep it fresh.
Real quick, Maddie, do we have like an anniversary coming up? Or did we pass that?
It's coming up. It's in March.
Sorry. Well, heart flutter there. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, well, hang on a second. You and I have an anniversary.
Yeah, doing the pod.
It was the Waste Management Phoenix
It
Open.
was, right?
That is always going to be our first time doing a co-hosted show together. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. I actually, you know, I was thinking about when the show started going back in March 3 years ago, but oof.
Well, Brent said Cognizant, and I was like, we did the Cognizant. Oh, yeah, it's almost,
This is episode 160. Can you believe it? And we're still on air. We haven't been arrested or kicked off yet or anything like that. I mean, it's incredible.
It's impressive.
Absolutely love it. Brent, this is your moment, buddy, because I mentioned you did not play the Monday queue for the Waste Management Phoenix Open. You instead decided to go to Bogota.
Yep, sure did. So yeah. Oh man, I always love going there. It's actually one of my favorite tournaments every year, despite the weather. But yeah, it was great. Flying high at 8,600 feet. Smoking great cigars, and yeah, beautiful scenery out there. Unfortunately, it's a third world country, so we kind of keep it, you know, locked up. But mirror. Anyways, yeah. So Kyle Westmoreland went and got it done. First win on the Corn Ferry Tour since turning professional in 2017. Excuse me. Formerly U.S. Air Force captain. So. Definitely appreciate him and his service, but yeah, talked to him a little bit on the phone. He's Buttsy, you'll appreciate this. He's 6'3", 220 pounds, and he hits it probably further than anybody on the tour, on either tour. So
I appreciate that.
Yep. Yeah, I know you love the long ball. So, but yeah, it was playing super soft. So the fact that a long ball hitter got it done meant that he was able to control his distance better than anybody. So. Congrats to him, and yeah, it was great. Certainly would have rather played the Waste Management rather than the Monday, but happy to get into an event when I can.
Guys, Trot Golfer certainly helped us out here. They go to Mexico. They go to Vedanta.
I've been there.
So that used to be the over at Greg Norman's golf course before LIV Golf took that one over. But yeah.
Yeah, so, you're right. They used to be at
Mayakoba.
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, I love that. And then that wasn't the comment I was. And then they go to Florida after that with the Cognizant. So
it's a Florida
thank you, Austin Whittington, for helping us out there as well.
Jake Knapp, right? Jake Knapp, defending champion.
I do have to ask you though. Hang on a second. I gotta ask Brent. Brent, what the fuck happened in the second round and holes 1 and 2?
Fucking great question.
I seen that as well.
Yeah, was feeling fine.
I mean, you think I'm going to just absolutely let that go by the wayside?
Well, you could have.
No paintball injury, right?
No, God no. No, played the first round, got knocked some rust off, and then on the second round, it's honestly, I hate to say this, but the first green specifically was about 2 foot faster than the putting green, which is no excuse. But either way, I literally four putted. Literally four putted. Just roasted the first one off the yeah. So I hit 2 really good shots, and then both of my playing partners hit it, in the same vicinity as I did, about 40 foot up the hill. And I putted the first one, and it kept on going. And then the rest is, as they say, history on that hole. And then the next one just hit one off the tree, and it ricocheted about 50 yards left out of bounds. So that's pretty much it.
These things happen.
It's just golf.
Well, I do have a funny Brent Grant story that I got from David Geese, who was caddying for.
Does Brent know this story?
Harris English. and good old Harris, he was very upset throughout the round, and David was having a tough time with him. And sure enough, Brent goes up. The ball's on Brent. I'm learning about you, Brent, every step of the way. Brent goes up.
I love David.
Brent goes up to what the hell's his name again? Harris English, and tells him, he goes, "Man, why are you so angry all the time? You should just calm down."
When did I say that?
In the middle of the round. And then David comes over to you and goes, "Hey man, thank you for saying that to him." And
I think I remember.
Apparently you were just like, "Yeah, man, he needed to hear it."
Yeah, I don't remember when that was, but
I think to be a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was
last
definitely
year
a couple
he
years
was on
ago.
with Harrison Endicott. This year he's on with Bud Cauley, and so it had to be 3 years ago.
No, it was Endicott. It wasn't Harris. I don't think it was Harris English because he was
said it was English.
You sure? I
It
don't
was
think
his
so.
first guy that he had.
No, it was Endicott. It was
You
Endicott.
sure?
Yeah, 100%.
I must have.
And I've known Harrison for 6 years. So, and he's a club tosser. He's the kind of guy that will watch a ball hook and say, "Why didn't that fade?" He will walk up to a ball when the slope is like this and say, "Why didn't it kick the other way?" Stuff like that. I call it the Harrison Endicott bounce. Is when you say, "Why did it kick that way?" and you go up there, you're like, "Oh, it's because the fucking slope's like this." So yeah, I had a little bit of privilege with Harrison there in that moment, but yeah, David and I go way back. I love that guy, and he can loop for me anytime. I love.
He only
dude.
had terrible things to say about you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So that's spot on. There we go. Now, as we move on from the Corn Ferry Tour Bogota, I was really expecting you to come in with some stories of substance abuse and.
Well, I could.
Some
They just weren't. There weren't
things that go
any
on
of
down
mine.
there. So
There weren't
yeah,
any
but,
of my stories.
I mean,
That's the
you
problem.
could rat out the others. That's fine. You just won't be very liked the next time you go out there,
You
which
know.
is good too. But Buttsy, why don't you? Butsy's a big Tory Pines guy. What do you think of Tory Pines, Buttsy?
I've never played it, but
Yeah, exactly.
it's right up there with where they play the Hero at. It's just,
Is it similar?
I think that they're pretty similar layouts, albeit the tree line and stuff like that. But otherwise, I think they're very similar grass, similar layouts. The green complexes are very similar. And I just think the Hero's a little bit tougher. But beyond that,
This is Johnny Walker Blue. You can't have me spitting this out.
You gotta not drink it while he's saying that shit.
I didn't think you were going
Tory
there
Pines.
with it.
Tory Pines is tree lined, huh?
I do. Buttsy goes, I do think that the Hero World Challenge is slightly better.
harder. I don't know,
Harder.
better.
Well,
Much more difficult.
Just harder.
Yeah, like a way more challenging.
They should host the U.S. Open every year at the Hero World Challenge course. Obviously,
it's the number one major venue that those guys play.
I totally agree.
And we know
They
that.
should
and
definitely
that's-
have a U.S. Open there,
Yeah, they should.
except it's not in the U.S.
Yeah, and I just don't think that you can accommodate the fans, and it's not fair to really, force everybody to head down to the Bahamas and do that. So, Tory, I think, is amazing. I mean, it's a classic. So,
It is a classic, and you got the people absolutely cracking up about that.
Oh
Let's-
man.
Let's get into this because
So
again,
should we talk about Tory Pines from somebody that's actually been there?
Yeah,
I think
why
Matt,
don't-
you've played
Brett-
there.
I don't think
have.
that really matters.
I used to play there a ton. So I lived in San Diego for a year. I used to live 5 minutes away
Diego.
from the good old Tory Pines golf course. And
Love that
what
place.
most people don't realize, unless you have been there during the off season, is that it is a dog track. It is absolutely not kept in shape. It's like a $25, like if you live in that county, you can play it for like $25 if you got the pass. It is it's tough because the greens are terrible, the fairways are long, the rough is short, and it's a brutal track.
I
During
feel
the
like
off-season,
it's one of
but-
the, I don't
Oh,
know.
go
It's
ahead.
one of those places like fairway, tee boxes. Okay, we give that up, but the greens are perfect most of the time.
I love this. This is great because I fully see this. I've slept in that
Parking
parking
lot.
lot a few times. I see that out of you, Trot. I do. I do see that out of you.
You have
Tiger
to
said
because
that-
it's. Go
You
ahead.
heard what Tiger said, that all of his course design, like to this day, I mean, he's still very young in that. He's not exactly, Gary Panks yet, but it's all based roughly around Tory's layout.
Look at this. David jumps in from X. Tommy Gainey once said they should play the U.S. Open at Shaughnessy Golf Club in Vancouver. Just another classic mix-up where, the U.S. Open is played in the U.S. And that's why we can't have the Hero World Challenge there. Or as like Buttsy knows, the Hero World Challenge would be a U.S. Open venue.
It should be. Let's not would be. It should be.
And we're talking about an event as if it's a golf course. It's Albany is the golf course that they play the Hero World Challenge at.
I think they should just change the golf course name to the Hero World Challenge too, and just leave it at that. It's better. It's more synonymous, and it's something that's easier in a Google search bar when you're trying to figure out where the best in the world are playing the best golf. God,
you are so spot on. I mean, sometimes you just hit where like you've got analysis that, I mean, it's just so fucking good.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I love it.
Thanks.
And as we're playing Tory Pines this week instead of Riv, you guys want to go over some betting odds here?
Yeah.
So guess what? Since Scotty Scheffler showed some life this past weekend, Scotty Scheffler is the favorite at plus 400. Then we got Rory McIlroy, who won 2 weeks ago at Pebble. And this was a question I do not have the answer for, so I'm curious if you guys know. Has Rory played well at Tory? God, I got the Scotch burps.
Yeah, I think he has.
I can't recall. Like, I don't ever recall like Rory being in like that final group Sunday at Tory Pines. Am I wrong?
He doesn't ever play.
Well, yeah.
But the U.S. Open he plays.
Yeah, when it's there once every 8 years. But I mean, that's the thing about that golf course is even though he's, obviously a phenomenal driver of the golf ball, it also falls in the part of the schedule where he just goes, I'm good. I'm not going to show up. I mean, you had 10 guys and a couple of injuries or whatever, withdrawals and whatnot. But
that's because everybody knew it was coming to Tory.
Oh, for sure. But that's what I'm saying is that, regardless of, or irregardless, as they say in San Diego,
irregardless,
as
they say that there
in San Diego.
They say irregardless.
Is that a surfer term, irregardless?
I think so. I think it's specifically from Tory Pines golf course. They literally say irregardless.
People that camp in the parking lot.
Exactly.
Wave catchers.
So 100%. Yeah. So
wave catchers.
But yeah, I mean, you would definitely expect him to play well there because he absolutely bombs the shit out of the ball and hits his irons high and lands them soft. Yeah. And it's a golf course. But I don't know. I mean, do we know what they're setting the course up at? Is it going to be as long? Is it going to be shorter? Or are they just going to say, hey, you know what? Let's play this at 7,000 yards. Let's get in and out, make a bunch of birdies, call it a day. And
so I meant to reach out this gentleman that I met last week at the caddy event at Grass Clippings, the Grass League, right? The caddy event that they did for 10K for all the caddies.
Yeah.
So this guy, they do a betting company, and he goes and he walks the majority of the golf courses throughout the year and like marks up everything. And then they've got this whole system to where they put out picks and everything like that. And they do quite well. I did see a post from him today that he was out there. I wish we had brought him on. It's my mistake, but
that's okay.
Matt Gannon, that's the one that we've got to get in contact with. But yeah, I did hear, the one thing I did hear is that the rough is really thick this week and that we're going to have some weather be a factor out there this week as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it could be pretty icy out there, to be honest. And I mean, we're getting ready to get some rain here, I think later on this week here in Phoenix. Yep. So
it cooled down this week after the waste management.
So
it's chilly tonight.
Yeah, it's chilly. I'm in a straight up cashmere hoodie. This thing is toasty, and I'm even feeling a little breeze. So, but as I'm sure you're both picking up on the mic. But anyways.
Yeah, you gotta hey, champ, for the next time you go outside with that mic.
Oh, yeah, the little.
You need the little bunny fuzzy.
Forgot
the little
about
rabbit's foot.
Fuck, yeah. Forgot about it. No,
I like when you call him champ.
It's like, hilarious.
I like that.
Eventually, someday, he's gonna be champ.
Well,
yes, I agree.
Technically, have won once, one time.
On the Corn Ferry Tour, right?
Well, you know, hey,
Yeah, that's like me saying I've won on the mini tour.
Yeah, that's like
that's
winning
the
a
same.
men's club event.
That's the same.
It's legalized gambling, my friend, against other
Jesus.
golfers that are
So
good.
what did Matt Gannon say?
No,
about
I didn't
some-
talk to him about this week. I talked to him last week about waste management. So they go and he walks the golf courses. He gets inside the ropes. Like he works a little bit with the PGA Tour. He is buddies with Willie Wilcox. And
Oh,
yeah. I
Billy
told him, I
Will.
was like, I got to get you on the show so that
Yeah.
you could actually give our audience some good picks. Because outside of the first pick this year, we've been shit. So let's focus in on this one. By the way, Callum Morikawa's plus 1,600, Justin Thomas plus 1,800, Hideki Matsuyama plus 2,200, Ludwig O to the Berg is plus 2,500, Patrick Who Can't Lay plus 3,300, Sung Jae Im plus 3,500, Rasmus Højgaard, Taylor Pendrith, Tony Finau, and Tommy Fleetwood are all at plus 4,000. We've got Jordan Spieth sightings, Robert McIntyre, good old Bobby Mack, Shane Lowry at plus 4,500. Will Zalatoris, Jason Day, Sam Burns, Thomas Dietrich, Tom Kim, Victor Hovland, and Sepp Straka at plus 5,000. Who we liking, Buttsy?
Who won Farmers?
That's $1 million question that we can not answer for you right now. Who won the Farmers?
I don't like the Scheffler pick at all. I don't know if anybody saw the little baby meltdown on 15 when the wedge after the drop went a little bit too far there.
Wasn't good.
Took a swing at the bag. I don't think I've ever seen that out of Scotty before.
No.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Actually,
he's not
Scotty
playing
is
well.
Scotty is a tough bag.
He's a notorious.
I mean, he missed his number by like 1.5 feet. The ball skipped just a sea hair too far, and he let Ted have it, you know. And he swung at the bag. I will say he didn't swing. He didn't man up though. Like if you're really mad, you bend that fucking wedge.
He pulled a punch. Yeah, he pulled a punch.
Yeah, you kind of
Damn right, Buttsy. Damn right.
You know,
Give it
like
the
well,
full heave ho.
seriously, snap the club over your knee. Like show some real exhaustion out there and frustration. But
Yeah.
I'm going Sung Jae.
Oh, love that. In some weather? How many times? Oh, I did ask Willie Wilcox, which we don't really know each other. So he was playing in David Geese's group, and David and I know each other well. And sure enough, I go up to Willie. I go, Willie, you ever get wrong wind, caddy? And he looks at me, and he doesn't know how to quite answer it. And then I go, listen, Bobby Brown was my co-host. I was like, I know Lance. I know all the stories of Sung Jae. And he goes, oh, he's like, okay. He's like, yeah, I used to get that a lot. He's like, I got abused quite a bit in the beginning. He's like, but now we're good. Now we're good.
Got abused.
Well, a lot of stories of Sung Jae loving a little push, and a little wrong wind caddy. So would love to get Sung Jae on at some point. That'd be awesome.
I would love that.
But he's just going through his head. He's like, if a player ever pushed me, I would literally rocket throw them to the sun.
No, I was
Could you
thinking
imagine
like
if Brent pushed you, Buttsy, and you were on the bag?
I was just thinking
I'd go backwards. I would go
sexual
backwards.
undertones like downwind caddy, you know, wrong wind, pushing
Wrong
from
wind,
behind. Just a lot of
Not from me.
yeah.
Anti-Live
No.
wants to know what time the Live update is. It's coming. Sorry. Quick intermission there.
If I'm caddying for Scotty and he slams his club into the bag and he doesn't break it, I'm just giving him a nice little look. I'm throwing my whole career out the window as I walk over to the lake and throw his whole bag in the lake and leave.
That's not a good career move. That's for sure.
Maybe
Brent,
not, but legends never die.
Brent, who do you got? Yeah, that's a good point. If you throw that in, nobody's gonna forget you.
Oh shit. Actually, I had a guy. Man, you know the name Buddha, don't you, Matt Cook?
I know the name Buddha.
Yeah, you met Buddha, I think.
Yeah.
Have I?
Yeah. You've had to have heard about him.
Okay.
So good old Mikey Mollett, lovely individual. Made his name by literally taking the bag full of golf balls and dumping them in the pond because his player was just not happy. And Mike doesn't take
done.
shit. And
Being a bitch.
yeah, he literally dumped all the balls. He said goodbye and fucking deuced out. It's pretty impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Brent, who you got this week?
We got some weather coming in, so it's going to be a grinder. Let's see. Half the field's out as soon as the weather rolls in. Might even withdraw. I'm going to go with Patrick Cantlay.
Whoa.
Wow, the guy that can't lay. That's
You think it's slow?
amazing.
You think he's gonna be able to play that slow with the wind blowing down on his fucking umbrella and still
Yep.
get it done?
Yep, I sure do.
All
He,
right.
he shows up. He shows up for this tournament.
Matt doesn't like that pick.
I don't like that at all.
Well, thankfully my career is not built on who I pick for fucking wins.
It could be.
Our audience banks on you for solid picks. No, they don't. That's
Sure
a
they do.
lie. That is an absolute lie. They absolutely do not.
Irregardless.
By the way, Harris English is the one who won the Farmers, just for your information. I was going to let you pick first
Oh yeah, that's
before I
right.
gave you that information. I'm just looking down the list again.
Fuck
And granted, we don't have like the deeper odds because odd makers are odd makers for a reason. Gosh, I'm looking down this list and I hate to go against.
Hideki Matsuyama.
No.
No? Oh, okay.
I'm telling you what, man. I like Justin Thomas this week. I saw him out at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, and it just seems like he's close.
It doesn't
He's
count just because you
close.
saw him.
He's close.
Matt Cook knows talent when he sees it.
Yeah.
He's peaking for he's
Listen,
got the eye.
guys get into form,
No,
right?
I know.
And then, I mean, here's the other thing. So this is why I would have loved to have Matt Gannon on before we made these picks, because I would have loved to known if Tory Pines fits Justin Thomas's game. I really don't know. So,
I mean, yes
any
and no.
course kind of fits Justin Thomas's game. Let's be
As long,
honest.
well, yeah. I mean,
If he
so
gets hot on the right week,
oh, for sure. I mean, you could say that about most high level players, but I mean, I would say as far as he's concerned, if he's driving it well, he's got a chance. But with poor weather coming, if he's hitting out of the rough and not getting it done, I mean, he might even withdraw. So
who? JT?
Justin Thomas, yeah. This is remember this is an elevated event. They could just tee it up, hit it off the first tee, and withdraw and get
No, I think
paid.
if you WD, I don't think you get paid.
Oh yeah, you do.
Are you sure?
100%.
Interesting turn of events.
That's kind of
All right.
weird.
Hey,
Are you guys ready to get into this? Because neither of you
Oh, yes.
know what the hell is going on. Okay.
well, I don't know if you can say that, but that's
Well,
about
no,
me.
no, neither of you know what's been going on the good old X, the Twitter.
Oh, the
Okay.
X.
No.
Just the
Yeah.
behind the scenes on what's happened on PGA Tour and a phone
Oh, no,
call
no,
with
no,
some
that-
people.
That's going down further. So that's further
Oh.
on the list.
That's later.
They're like-
That's later.
You know what's going on? I'm like, how the fuck does he know I got a buzz?
How does he
This
know?
is
Oh.
unbelievable.
I
Our
had to
Your
get-
face
cycles
turns
are matched
fucking
up.
red. Well,
I had to get nice and toasty here in studio in order to get into this next topic, because this one had me laughing
Yeah.
all weekend long. So I have turned heel, if you guys know what that means.
Oh yes.
So I've
Yeah.
turned heel against LIV Golf,
I was
And
going to say the same.
especially on X. So,
it's more fun.
their audience has, I've always kind of been a hater of the cult, the delusional, no knowledge behind real golf. Like, they got into LIV Golf because it was a new thing. They picked up the game during COVID and they were all excited about it, right?
It's a
Then all of
juvenile
a sudden they're
culture.
like, oh my gosh, this
The
LIV
new
Golf
thing.
is the best thing ever. Hate the PGA Tour. They're the bunch of assholes. Like,
Mm.
that is
Bunch
the
of
mentality.
assholes.
And they just, they rationalize, they defend everything they possibly could. So I was like, you know what? I thought about it. Thursday came around and I'm like, am I really going to spend $60 on this fucking LIV Golf app so I can cover it? And I'm
No.
like,
You did it.
fuck no.
You
Fuck
did it.
No. No. I absolutely did not. And you know what? I wrote a
Best
post
decision you've ever made.
after the event was done. I wrote a post. I'm like, holy fuck. I had 4 hours back in my life. I didn't miss it at all. Like, nobody gave a shit about fucking Saudi Arabia golf. Like, under the lights, okay, cool. Like, we have that here with the grass league.
We finally had enough.
That.
We've had enough.
I'm done. Like 3 years in, I've watched every fucking event, every single round, and I'm just like,
that deserves a toast. I mean, come on, toast it. Come on, boys, toast it.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Can't believe I'm doing it. I try.
So we will not, by the way, we will not be covering LIV Golf in terms of like, hey,
I thought we were going to trash them.
Here's the analysis. This
we
is
just
what we're doing.
trashed them as bad as we
are just
could
to trash
right
LIV
now.
Golf moving forward. And the funniest thing ever was that as I did that, right, the viewership numbers come out. So everybody was like losing their shit as a LIV Golf person.
10,000.
I kept telling everybody because I had people on both sides of the spectrum. I had PGA Tour like fanatics versus the LIV Golf guys, and everybody wanted to know, did Fox Sports really pay, or did Fox really pay LIV Golf licensing fees and this and that? I'm like, I haven't found out, but I really don't care. And then sure enough, what ends up happening? They get onto Fox. They're on Fox Sports too, okay? It's not ESPN the Ocho. All right? We're not watching like dog pony shows here, okay? And I don't even know if that's
That would have been
a dog
better.
pony show, but would have been better. They did 12,000 viewers.
Oh
on
my
their
gosh,
opening
so
round.
many.
They got absolutely exposed. And the hilarious thing, you've got idiots like this pro golf clinic person. I don't know. The big fat dude. Like you talk about fat dude. That's a fat dude.
The guy from Barstool?
No. That's another fat dude. But yeah, actually, he took a picture with Fat Perez, and he's like 5 times the size of Fat Perez.
Oh, that's impressive.
Just as a little side note, like he makes Fat Perez look very thin.
He wears moo-moos.
He wears moo-moos. He's got a wide sole. He loves the new
Vince Wilfork style.
So, anyways, the 12,000 viewers, and all of a sudden they're rationalizing. They're like, well, Fox Sports only averages like 11,000 viewers on yeah, the whole thing, right? So I'm just like, I don't care what fucking network you're on, right?
Yeah.
This gets into the households of 52.6 million households, not just individuals, households. And all of a sudden you do.
So you're saying they did really well. They did really well.
They fucking stunk up the entire place. They were losing their goddamn minds, and yet they were just defending at all costs, justifying, rationalizing, however you want to put it. They were losing their goddamn minds, so I just jumped in. I just fucking shat all over.
How did you jump in? Tell us, Matt.
Just some absolute.
How did you jump in them?
It was like Kendrick Lamar walking a circle
Kendrick
around
Lamar.
the camera, talking about Drake being a pedophile. It was absolutely incredible. And the people, I will say this:
Super Bowl.
the people on X. I gotta
Bots.
check. I
Just
don't have it
bots.
on me. Yeah, well, that's the other thing. So a couple of those assholes were like, your show doesn't get that many people on X. It's like the same fucking rigmarole, right? It's like we've got 200 views on X. Okay, cool.
So
Like we've got 30,000 podcast listeners. I don't give a shit about having 200 people on X. And they're like, you're buying bots. And I'm like, all right, guys.
I mean, we would add a couple of zeros
Absolutely
if we
great.
bought some bots. I mean,
Exactly.
at least do
We're
it.
not poor over here. I mean, Jesus, we'd at least pump it up to like at least like 1 million. Fuck.
You
Like
think you can afford a custom golf bag like that?
I mean, come on, look at that fucking blue
that was
label
free,
right there.
by the way. That was good.
$800 a bottle.
I could never afford something like that. I can't afford the $60 LIV Golf app. So, man, oh
Well,
man.
it's just again, it just shows that at the end of the day, X is its own echo chamber, along with all the other bullshit political things that people like to get into and waste their time because they're miserable and they got nothing better to do.
It
There
is
was a lot of people.
It has its own thing.
I think it's because it was Waste Management Week 2 to where like the crazy energy was out. Like,
Yeah.
I
How are you
dug
going to
in.
compare with that tournament? I mean, it's
Wow.
It's one of the most exciting tournaments, and that's not saying much because it is just still golf. But I mean, Jesus, you're gonna go up against that tournament as if you're gonna get anything from it. I mean, nobody gives a shit anyways. But let alone up against the Waste Management. That's fucking terrible business model.
Let me pull up. I want to
Pull it
see
up.
what
So,
the
O'Neill's
numbers at.
first deal flops. Is that what you're saying? So the
I need a cocktail.
Buttsy needs a cocktail.
Okay, so
I'm
the
turning
tweet,
red as a goddamn strawberry.
the tweet after they accused of bots, right? So taking a look at this.
Community notes is a thing now too, right? Basically, like
What is that?
real-time fact checking. It's real-time fact checking on
So-
Twitter.
Yeah, right after they
X,
started
sorry.
accusing me of that, I threw out my final LIV Golf Riyadh thoughts. Number one was I didn't watch a single second of it. 2, I feel great about it. 3, nothing against the players. You guys got paid. 4, nobody gives a fuck about this tournament except for 500 people on Twitter. And 147 impressions, had 1.2 thousand likes. You had 54 people reposted and 123 comments. And then went in on the what's the other one?
Irregardless, Buttsy. Remember, irregardless.
Irregardless.
Come on,
What was
stay
the other
consistent
one?
here.
I had another one that like did thousands of so on and so forth. Who gives a shit? Like that's the other thing too. Like who really gives a shit as to how many people viewed it, how many people liked it? It is what it is. Like that was my honest to goodness feeling about it. I felt fucking great.
So what you're
Very
saying is
good.
your life has improved because you've removed something away from
Yeah.
your.
Well, and he went turncoat on Liv.
I did.
Well, you know,
I went
and
full
listen.
heel like Hollywood Hogan, man.
Well,
I felt
exactly,
Put on his
right? I mean,
fucking-
just The Rock. I mean, come on, man. Well done,
The
Matt.
jabronis.
I mean, again,
I'm just
another
I'm
cheers.
fucking up
I mean,
jabronis
cheers,
left and right.
just
Cheers.
Cheers. That was well
It
done.
was. I got to tell you guys, I had the most fun this weekend. Like it actually started becoming addicting because it was kind of like a little bit of a test as to like who could come up with the best like comment at me, and then how could I overcome that comment with an even better burn. And I got to tell you, I felt like I was undefeated.
That is a very slippery slope when you start getting stimulated in that game.
It was
'Cause
fun.
when that addiction starts, it doesn't stop. Now you're searching pages, looking for comments that set you off. I'm gonna fight this guy online right now. Yep. This is how it goes. I know. I went through it for a long time before I'm like, I'm not gonna look at anything anymore because I'm so mad all the time.
The best part is like I've gotten to the point in life to where like there's nothing that somebody could say to me on Twitter that is going to upset me, which gives me the upper hand in every single comment that comes at me. Like I'm going to come at it from like the funniest creative way that I possibly can. I'm not saying that I'm a funny creative person, but that's what I would that's what I was getting at. So
You are, sweetie. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, all right?
now, this week we've got LIV Golf Adelaide, which I will not be watching. Neither will Buttsy, neither will Brent, unless we randomly go across it on Fox or Fox Sports. I don't know.
I'll watch it on Instagram. There's plenty of highlights there.
This is the other one, by the way. So this is the Temu version of the Waste Management Phoenix Open. This is basically LIV Golf in a nutshell.
Australian version of the Waste Management.
I don't want to piss off the Aussies because you're right? I mean, this is a tournament to where these guys, they get pumped up. They do some shoeies. They get some weird diseases.
I am going to tell you right now, I bet that is a pretty good time to go to that event. I don't think that's like a bad time or a knockoff or anything like that.
No, it's definitely a knockoff. I mean, there's good products on Temu.
Yeah.
Like you could get a
just
real
ordered some
quality
elbow
like
pads
Louis
off there
Vuitton
for
wallet
paintball.
on oh, sorry, go ahead.
No,
we're off there.
Yeah, no, Temu's fine. I wear all their clothes. No, I'm just kidding. No. it's just a different thing. It's not a bad thing. I have seen the clips. I'm good friends with the dudes that run the account Golf Gods, and they're a huge clothing brand over there. And they're out there in full force and behind the scenes videos. Like, that's a huge tournament. That's a really good time that they're having over there. It's not the waste management. It can't be. You can't beat that. Nobody will. But it's not a bad deal. Do you think we can get the Cleeks new weekend bag on Temu?
So they got like a $3,000 bag that they came out with the Cleeks logo on it. And I gotta tell you, I don't know who's buying the shit out of that. Like that's a brand deal to where like that brand is never getting their money back. Like they're giving those guys free product and they are never making it back.
Well, we've passed the event horizon of people accepting it as something real, and it's just not going to be so.
It's not. It's sad because, I mean, the worst part about it is, and this is what I don't think the LIV cult knows, is that you've got a new CEO that was brought in order to turn things into revenue. They can't lose constant money anymore because guess what's going to happen? They're about to be pulled in underneath the PGA Tour umbrella. And if they don't start showing a profit, Jay Monahan has the absolute right to all of a sudden be like, okay, it's gone. And Yasir's not going to do anything about it because that's part of their entire agreement. So we might as well get into the agreement part of this because the reason that they tapped good old Donald Trump on the shoulder to say, hey, Donald, can you help us out with this thing? They've got 4 deals in place. So remember I told you guys that they had a deal back at the PGA? Well, they have created 3 more deals. So there's 4 on the table that are agreed upon between the 2 parties. They're just trying to see which one they can get through the Department of Justice because they are terrified that they're not going to be able to get it through. So that's what the holdup is right now. So different levels of money coming in from PIF. Obviously, Yasir has some non-negotiables, which is him as chairman of the board of the PGA Tour Enterprises and having another board seat. Like those are all solidified. It's more so like how can we get this through without getting jam-jobbed by the Department of Justice? And that's where it's at right now. But I do question both of you, and I want an answer. Buttsy, I'm going to go to you first. Sorry. I got the screen mirror thing going on. I think Butsy's over here. I think you're over here, Brent. So, Buttsy, first off with you. If this deal goes through, do brands start to go, oh, it's fair game now? And they start to advertise and sponsor, and all of a sudden you see this big wave of money coming into LIV Golf? Do you think that happens?
No. I think it's too little too late, and the end is near.
Brent, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, LIV Golf at the end of the day is not going to last. Certainly not with the way that it is right now. But I think, honestly, I spoke to a pretty well-experienced and well-connected tour veteran last week after we all got the email about the phone call with President Trump and some players and
then Trump played golf with
Mr.
Tiger
Monahan, and well, yeah, you know, it's some pretty incredible stuff. But overall, I really believe that the PGA Tour as it exists right now is not going to really be a thing either. I think that we're going to see, I think we're going to see A, B, and C kind of break down a certain way, and A is basically going to be, you know, the top 50 to 75 players playing 20 to 30 events, all for a shitload of money. B is going to be somewhere around there, you know, probably half, maybe a little bit less. And then C is just basically going to be Corn Ferry Tour plus, and they're probably going to be playing for maybe a third of what PGA Tour A is playing for. But the amazing part about the phone call is that there were players involved, and the best thing that we got told as a membership was, we'll just keep you updated. And that's pretty incredible. We didn't know the phone call was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know what they covered.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah,
That's
just
nice,
really,
man.
really doing it for the
Hell yeah,
membership.
I'll wait. I'll wait it out. Thanks.
But I got, Matt. I mean, have you heard? Uh,
I've heard a lot
is it?
lately.
No, I'm sure you've heard way more than me, just
The
because
tour was
I'm
in
a little-
town, my friend.
Well, exactly. But the amazing part about it is the money that gets spent and has been spent over the last 5 years and where it's gone and all those things. If can
Track golfer just dropped in a gem of a comment.
no,
Can I
try,
just get my
you
fucking
can't.
packages from
No,
China, please?
you fucking
Listen,
can't.
Timu, DHgate, they're all done now. Those
Either
Yeah,
buy,
rumor has it-
buy American or don't buy at all.
the
Trot
additional
ordered a long
25
putter
or
off Timu.
what is it? Another 10% tariffs just got to
Good. Fuck 'em. Yeah, I think
That's
the
so great.
amazing thing is again, right? You just ask simple questions and you just poke holes through every single one of these things that they just throw out there.
What were you poking holes through? Let's find out.
For example, the $300 million that went to the Player Impact Program.
Yeah, where'd that come
over
from?
where'd that come from? Because this last year it came from the SSG, so they were able to explain that away. Well, I'm not really sure where the $100 million comes from, but
Here's the politically correct answer, which is that the PGA Tour had stashed away funds for a long time in order to, as a safety net for the entire tour. Now,
So-
as a non for profit, doesn't quite sound like that is on
the
the up and up.
the reserves were at $84 million after COVID. So they had 300 million and they spent about 216 during the years of 2020 and
I
2021.
agree with Kyle.
And then at the end of absolutely. But at the end of the day, they don't have an answer for that. And this was asked, by the way, I asked Tyler Duncan, who's PGA Tour number 2. And I asked some other people, some other things, but yeah, nobody has an explanation for that. And but we'll just wait and see. And actually, I do have a question for you, Matt. Have you heard that the PGA Tour Enterprises and PGA Tour are two separate entities?
They are, but PGA Tour Enterprises is the umbrella.
So that's so
that sits on top. PGA Tour Enterprise or PGA Tour is here underneath that umbrella, and then LIV Golf is going to be over here underneath that umbrella.
Yeah. So what I was told was that it's two completely separate entities, in that PGA Tour Enterprises acts as sort of a money line, if you will, for them to be able to affect the PGA Tour, but not necessarily owning the PGA Tour.
Oh, okay.
It's convoluted because technically you can't have a for-profit owning a non-for-profit.
Exactly. So, and then the final piece, the final piece, from what I understand, is that the PGA Tour is sitting on a gold mine of data. So, StatCast and all that other stuff. So that's really what the PIF is after, because they want to use that data to be able to, make even more money. And
Sure.
And that's really why they're still doing this. Otherwise, I don't think Yasir would even be sitting at the table. But that's as much information as I have with regards to the PIF and the LIV and all that other bullshit. So
Well, it's good information.
it's fantastic, riveting shit.
Oh boy. So Adelaide is going to be the big saving grace for all those Twitter clowns that are out there. They're going to use this for the entire rest of the year. Yeah, but we had Adelaide. It had like 60,000 people.
Adelaide.
And,
What's that?
Adelaide. Like we had a 16th hole too, and it was sick. We had people doing shoeies. It was sick.
What's Adelaide?
Brooks Koepka's brother made a hole in it.
And look at
He's
that
still
leaderboard.
playing?
Everybody is a name on that leaderboard. That's right. Everybody does have a name. That's real good out of you.
Wait, what's Adelaide? I'm sorry.
Meth capital of Australia, I've heard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking incredible.
Big
Is
rock.
that where they were? Is that where they played it?
That's where it's being played. Good old
Oh.
LIV Golf is being
That's a
played
town.
out there. So it's a town in Australia.
Hey, shout out
Very
to those
shitty golf
people.
course.
I hope they get a lot of fucking money for it. Jesus.
I mean,
And
there's
if
gonna
they
be a lot of
asked me if
people
I
out
would
there.
join the field tomorrow, I'd be there. Like, I would be there.
I'd take 4 million. Absolutely.
Buttsy, by the way, talking about fields, did you see that good old Grass League is going to have a draft tournament, $1,200? So
I'm trying to
thinking?
circumvent the draft. Trying to go ahead and just like
play.
one of those airport walkways. Like, here's a guy, and I get on that, and I just go right by. Like, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. This is like become an ever more irregardless, mysterious thing that nobody is telling me if I'm playing or not, but they keep like sending me smiling emojis and weird shit to trick me. So I don't know.
Well, I told you about my experience, and I believe the ones that are actually messaging you are actually the ones in power. So I will say that I do think there is a plan for good old Buttsy to be playing. But folks, I don't know. Should we set up like a GoFundMe and just like see if people will support a new team on the grass league?
I like that idea.
I mean, it's not a terrible idea.
No, I like that idea.
Like, folks, just pitch in $20 a pop, and well, we got to set something up. Should we just put out like, should I just give everybody my Venmo? All right, here's what I'll do. If enough people post that they want to support a grass league team that is controlled by us, then I will start handing out my Venmo, and people can start just dipping into there and giving money. Give money.
You just got to put in there, like, what do you get back?
Am I the manager?
I don't know. What
Is that
would
how
they
that
get
works?
back?
Nothing.
No, Brian, you might actually be a play. I might be the manager at this point. I mean,
listen. I'd play.
I've literally picked up clubs that were not mine that had Bryson DeChambeau grips on them.
Oh God.
And I will say this: I didn't hit a lot of greens, so, and it's been months, and I haven't picked up a club since. So
you haven't been playing
out. I'm probably out. I'm probably out.
He's decided to just focus on what matters, and that's Johnny Walker Blue.
Well, he knows he needs the work.
Well, yes, but Johnny Walker Blue is the show. I mean,
but I will say this as well, that the Utah Soakers could be a real thing.
Yeah, GoFundMe is easy to do. They just put it up on Twitter and rock and roll.
That's what I'm thinking. I think we guys.
Buttsy, I'm in.
Would you guys be down with helping us build a team on the grass league? Put it in the comments if you are interested in helping Pull Hook Golf create a team. And no, it's probably not going to be the Utah Soakers as much as I want it to be the Utah Soakers.
And it's just going to race right past in earnings that kid that's got brain cancer. But
it could be Johnny Walker's. I mean, it could be Johnny Walker's. How about that? Fuck.
I don't think we can go full branding on that, but I do think that we can create between the three of us, we can come up with a pretty creative name to put out there.
Prestige worldwide.
Oh,
yes.
Best.
Absolutely. 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
On the next episode, should we do a presentation for everybody called Prestige Worldwide? Worldwide.
I think we need to come up with some marketing videos showing people, our stuff.
Boats and hoes.
All we got to do is release the footage. Just release the footage of what we already have done. I mean, it's pretty clear we're the greatest in the world. So, fuck.
Not far off. Not far off.
I might be playing with your guy this weekend, Matty. Saturday, we'll see. Your boy Pete.
Go get it. Go get it.
We'll see. I don't know.
I'm in, guys.
I was thinking about having him. I was going to tell him hey, I'm at the bag drop, and then he rolls up, and I'm in a wheelchair, and secretly this whole time, he doesn't know that, but yeah.
Trot wants to know where's the footage. So Trot, we had a bad deal. We lost our video editor. Just absolutely disappeared on us. Stole a bunch of money, and we do not have a video editor to edit up the content. So,
needless to say, Matt won't be using Fiverr anymore to find these guys.
It wasn't Fiverr. He was here in America. I've tracked him down. I feel like, I don't know. I'm too nice of a person, man. And that's what's funny about the whole Twitter thing. People think I'm dead serious on Twitter, just absolutely clowning them. To me, it's amusing. If you take this shit that seriously, which that's why a guy like Anti-Liv, that dude's hilarious because You could tell he does not give a shit. Like he plays up the role that
I
he
don't
is
think
anti-live golf.
I don't think anybody actually takes it that seriously. I think like
Mm-mm.
in real life, if you run into these people and you're like, "Hey, I'm him. I'm the guy that blah blah blah," in the chat room, and they're like,
Oh, they'll bow
"Yeah,
down in a heartbeat.
that was
But
pretty funny, wasn't it?" Like, yeah, it was, man. You told me to go have sex with my mom like 3 or 4 times, but it's cool. It's cool, bro.
I do love. So there is a trend, by the way. So they start off with like whatever the best thing they got is, right? Data, facts, whatever. Like what they think is accurate. They send that over. You debunk that. You come over the top with more information that debunks the entire thing. Then it's classic. They start getting to insults. So there's an insult. There's always an emoji, like a laughing emoji, because you could always tell when they're really pissed off is when there's multiple laughing emojis.
Personal attack usually happens based on your appearance after that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then of course they just start getting into insults. Like there might be a little bit of information in the follow-up reply, but then after that, it's just straight, your mother sucks.
Oh,
Cock.
looks like that hairline's almost at the back of your head, bud. Like, whatever.
You got a
you
huge
say.
forehead.
Got a 7 head. Yeah, it's lucky.
What would people say to poor Brent Grant? Jeez.
Oh man, he's got.
You should stay off of Twitter.
Bring it.
We both suffer from the beaver tooth syndrome.
Nothing
We
wrong
both
with a good
look
set of
like,
choppers.
There's nothing wrong with some good teeth. Oh, God.
We both look like a couple of fucking gerbils at the Free Zoo, aka Petco.
Buttsy, I actually felt bad. So I was into some booze,
Oh, God.
and
Here
there
we
was
go.
this guy, and in his profile picture, he had some janky teeth.
Oh,
So
no.
what did I do? I said something along the lines of, and I took a close-up screenshot of his profile pic, just showing the fangs, showing how fucked up the teeth were.
No,
And I
you
go,
gotta.
you probably think your dentist is the best too, huh?
No, that's when you send them like
Oh,
Just
you send him a
savage.
web address for like a dental implant center in his local town.
He's in Ireland. He ain't got no dental implant
Perfect.
center.
No, it's called Wood.
perfect.
Oh, that poor guy, man. I felt
Just
I actually
get some
felt terrible. I
dentures.
almost felt like, man, I should probably DM this guy. Like I probably took it a step too far.
Are we at that point in the pod where we're starting to fall off a little from the booze? I think. Yeah.
The booze are done.
Speak for yourself, bud.
Really? Do I need to go get another glass?
You know, the glass will come to me.
Should we make this into one of those weird podcasts we do? Because I have not had a lot of sleep. I've been up till 1 a.m. and waking up at 6 a.m. the past 2 days. So I'm in if you guys want to do a little fucking run at this.
Yeah, I'm probably not totally in. I decided to turn on Interstellar for the 48th time last night at 10:30, thinking this will lull me to sleep.
Nope.
And here we are in the 5th dimension, finding out more about that movie as time goes. It's just crazy.
I got to tell you, a lot of people do believe that that's real. That there is.
I'm also one of those people.
Time. I've also watched it. Me, Buttsy and I have been on the same wavelength lately. I love that movie. I've watched it for
it's a great movie.
insight and intel a lot.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, things are starting to happen with Google and the quantum world starting to make some of this shit look like it's probably real. So, yeah. Anyways, getting weird. God, it always does.
It always does at the end of these. I absolutely love it. You know, if we start talking about David Geese and I found out that if we started talking about boobs, that the algorithm started kicking up the numbers of viewers.
Really?
Yeah, wait, just did. We just went up 30 as soon as I said boobs.
Yeah. Bang.
They start throwing it in the For You page.
Yeah. Yeah. These guys are talking boobs.
Wow.
Okay.
What's your favorite set? That's the question.
This is not appropriate.
Valentine's Day on Friday, boys.
Buttsy, I also had a moment to where I deleted like the first ever tweet that I was like, all right, that's too far. In
I've
terms of
gone
like
too far.
of like a post. So it was going around Twitter that there was this naked man with a hog that was in white paint, and he was like an art like sculpture, but that thing was just hanging. So I was like, oh, it looks like Greg Norman found a new job.
Just a brontosaurus.
Oh, fuck.
I deleted that one. I deleted it.
Did you tag him in it at least?
Oh, I should have. Oh, that could have been good. I should
Yeah.
have tagged his son too.
Yeah.
Greg Norman Jr. Greg Norman Jr. is pretty active on the X.
Yep. Yep. He's got his own built-in periscope, doesn't he?
I don't know. I don't know. Listen, did it pass on from dad to son? We don't know.
Oh, fuck.
Brett's like, yeah.
Alrighty. There we go.
There we
was
go.
waiting for that.
Eggplant. Love eggplant.
Beautiful. Beautiful
Guys,
stuff.
Once again,
What's next?
we're crushing it on the viewers on X with 90 right now.
Killing
Is that
it.
crushing it?
Well, like we normally will,
I don't know.
we would only get like probably 20 to 30 for a while. And then we started getting accused of bots when we got up to like 200.
Which is totally
views.
true. It's totally true. I mean, we buy all 200 of them.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't we? I mean,
From
that's 82 cents.
Zing.com.
Mhm.
Why
Same company
not?
that makes Bloody Mary mix, by the way.
Absolutely. So yeah, that was but no, the numbers were starting to go up on the good old X. But
You like that one?
That was a good one.
oh,
That was very
what are we
quick.
even talking about?
That
at
was
this
very
point?
fast.
I was out at the influencer event. I got accused of autism for like the third time in 2 weeks.
Really? Do tell.
Yeah. So I was out at the influencer event, the PGA memes event, and I ran into the Back Off Challenge boys, the country club adjacent guys, and I've known them for a long time. They're all sitting in a chair, and some guy comes up and starts giving me a hug, and he goes, "Bro," and it was Mark Smalls. I don't know if you know him.
Don't know.
He's a comic. He actually toured with Kreischer this year. He's a skinny, weird-looking wizard weirdo. He's just an absolute weirdo-looking dude. Like if mushrooms were a person, this is what he looks like. And I told him that right there on the spot. But he goes, "Dude, you're pretty high performing, huh? Getting into paintball." And I was like, "Oh
At
my
least they're
God."
watching.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my God!" Like, is that what you think? Oh my God, it's fucking fun. Give me a goddamn break here. All right, if you get into the world,
That's actually pretty funny.
it's hilarious, dude. I was like, it was like a epiphany hit me. I was like, oh man, people are probably watching me do this shit, wondering, okay, this guy's fucking.
Yeah, how's your melanoma, Buttsy?
It's okay. I think I actually gave it to Matt.
I mean, my blood pressure is through the roof after these past 2 days. I think
very
I've had
contagious
14
disease.
Red Bulls.
Very contagious disease. Yeah,
Oh gosh.
Hell of a drug.
but
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, I told him, I'm like, and this people don't realize, like when you start digging into the inner world of paintball, you realize really quick it's a grown man game. It is a
Yes.
grown man game. It is very much not a kid's game. And I'm fully hooked. What do you want me to do? It's fucking.
One would even say pull hooked.
Dude,
It
are
is
you-
an adrenaline rush like no other, and golf doesn't give that. In spurts, it does. Very, very seldom do you get that on the golf course.
I'm worried about you though, because they do say like when you're getting closer to death that, you know, you start going back to your childhood. Do you think that this is a moment to where like you're starting to head back to like the high school days? You might have more time because you're not in your childhood, but probably high school was probably the last time you played paintball, right?
Well,
Now
I
you're,
don't
like,
think so, because
right
none of
back
this,
in?
none of this weird shit that like all these hobbies I've gotten into, like they're all very juvenile in nature, like collecting baseball cards and
Yes.
getting into
I did that as a
paintball.
kid. I
I didn't do
paintball as
any
a
of this
kid.
shit as a kid.
Oh, you missed out. You're like Michael Jackson. You're doing
I,
it in
that's
reverse.
I don't even look at it like that. I'm like, I found it later in life. This is pretty fucking awesome, and I like it.
Who got you into paintball?
Me.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
yeah.
Buttsy literally was like, dude, we played paintball yesterday for the first time and I'm all the way in, and about $15,000 later, it's yeah, we're in. We've even got a team.
It's got me like
We have
it's
a
got me
team.
wanting to change my entire fitness regimen. Like I'm trying to.
Dude, so what, but hang on. It wasn't subliminal. Like what, like, did you see like a post on Instagram for somebody playing paintball and you're like, dude, this is fucking it.
No, so how it started was my stepson, he turned 16, and I was like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And
Oh,
trying to figure this out, and I was like, something off the wall. What can we do? Let's go play paintball. Okay. Boom. We went and played paintball.
hooked.
I played one game. They all played like for like 3 hours, and I was like, yep, that's enough. And I only played one game because I realized instantly I don't want to go back out on that field with this shitty gun, this rental shit.
Yep.
Instantly started YouTubing, like, okay, what's the fucking best that you could do in this game? And then, like, within a couple days, like, yeah, we're hooked, and I'm like, I have sponsors
You've got
now.
like a $20,000 setup.
No, dude, it's just, but like, I'm now like, I posted that, and like the little escarpment, I don't even know if that's the right word, playing. All these paintball guys started following me, and these companies started following me. They're like, "Oh, you getting into paintball, golf, crossover paintball? I love golf. You could be our fucking chairman. Like, all right, we're gonna start sending you shit, and this is fucking awesome." And now Brent will attest to this. Like, we're talking about going out and fucking doing drills and shit on Saturdays so we can get ready to.
It's actually like
Not even fucking-
that's
Yeah.
the worst part about it is
Yeah,
as much of a troll as Buttsy is, we are
I'll be
dead
dead-ass
serious
serious.
about every bit of this.
We're gonna
We
be going out
literal-
drill. Hey,
No,
hey, when I
it's-
go
we're-
left, you're gonna go right. In a
No,
count of three.
it's way
One,
beyond
two,
that,
Oh,
bro.
way
Like,
past that.
how do you
way
fucking
past that.
slide cancel? Like, how do you
All kinds
slide?
of shit, bro. Peeking,
No
all kinds of
fucking
shit, bro.
way.
Oh, you should
Kidding.
see. You should see my backyard. I've got a whole setup over here down
This
the
is-
side of the house.
God,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
are.
You got to be in,
Special.
Matt. Come on, let's go.
You know, and my thing with this is everybody's
No.
like, everybody will sit and make fun of you
No.
from their couch.
No.
And it's like, I don't know about you guys. Like, I like continuously exploring and doing the next fucking
Yeah.
cool thing.
And getting
it's
very
interesting.
compulsive and
Yeah,
excessive.
fuck, and do it
Yeah.
all the way. And like, why
It's
not?
It's not autism. It's called OCD.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it might be.
It might be a little tism. I
little-
might have to
little
come to
tism in
terms
there.
with that.
Well, irregardless.
Yeah.
It's-
But
it's-
but it's heading them
Tism.
down a fantastic, entertaining path.
hey, it's gonna get. You should see. We're gonna do some shit this weekend, aren't we, Buttsy?
Dude, I mean,
Bro, I saw
can
I
you
saw a
guys
guy.
film these drills? I would love to
Absolutely.
see
We're
these.
Hang
fucking
on.
in.
So the place that we go, they rent a
GoPro.
strap-on GoPro. Goes on the barrel of the gun, and,
Fuck off.
and they give you a 250 or not meg SD card.
Yep.
And you buy that. That's yours, and you can film your action for the day. So otherwise, you go buy your own. You got a helmet cam. You got the gun cam. And you start doing this. And the top end of paintball is called speedball.
Speedball.
That's the major
That
leagues of
sounds like
paintball.
a hell of a night.
Yeah, I know, right? It does. But that's like major league adult paintball is called speedball, and it is fun. I'm gonna start sending you some videos, and you're gonna be like,
The kind of adrenaline rush that you talk about. I mean, it's some of
You
these
play a
guys.
Here's the
position.
problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if I am that competitive anymore. We'll see.
Oh,
you are.
will be.
wait
You
till you
will
start
be.
getting shot at, and you're like, okay,
Oh, it's fucking on.
I just dumped a gallon of adrenaline into my fucking system.
Mhm.
I haven't felt this good in a long time.
Yep.
Do you
Great
drink a-
cardio too.
Do you drink a lot of Red Bull out there?
You can't,
Uh,
dude.
No, you can't. You got to
Like,
have
you're-
a nice even amount of energy.
Yeah.
Celsius is where
Can't
it's
be
at.
shaky.
Well, you
With a
think
gun
you can.
especially.
And then you get up to the gate and it's almost go time. And then they're like, 3, 2, 1. And then shit starts zinging past you that hurts real bad if you get hit by it. And you're like, all of a sudden your heart starts pounding. You go into fight or flight mode and like it's Desert Storm.
Honestly, that's the fucking worst part is that he's not kidding at all. He's not
And
kidding
you get
at
off the
all.
field.
You're fucking killing me.
And I'm like
Ugh.
going back to the table and you're refilling your air and you're fucking filling up your paint and shit. And you're like, this
Your
that was
gloves are like sweaty as
greatest-
fuck.
the
Yeah.
greatest thing ever. Oh my God, dude.
We're gonna do one-on-ones. That's what Buttsy and I are gonna do. We're gonna do one-on-ones. Go pro'd out. That's what we
And
need
you
to
wouldn't
do.
believe how well I actually move at my size. I
You
didn't
as
even
well.
know I could move this well.
Tore a groin
listen,
last weekend, but it
if
was
I
fun.
was an influencer like Buttsy and getting a bunch of free, cool paintball stuff, I'd probably be doing paintball too. But I'm not buying
It honestly doesn't take much.
The fans love it. Like I saw a guy at the gym this morning, like that I see every now and then, and he's like, "Yeah, bro, I've been watching this shit. Like the page is really
I've been looking at
entertaining
you in the
lately."
shower lately at LA Fitness.
No,
I'm a
dude,
big
he's like
fan.
straight up. He's like the paintball thing, bro. Like, please, you got to get some footage. Oh, we're working on it, man.
Oh, I'm coming.
Oh,
Well,
now,
we're going.
Buttsy, you've got your baseball page. We're gonna give you a couple little plugs here. You got your baseball page. You can give the handle out in a second. Are you thinking about setting up a paintball page?
Yes, absolutely.
I think we just do it right in line with what we're doing. Throw it up on the golf page. If you don't like it, great. But it's so intense that when I start posting these
it's so funny
gun camera footage of me running around, you get the audio out there and hear how scared I am. It's gonna be great. I'm scared, but
that's actually what he sounds like.
All we're gonna hear is a bunch of wheezing and
no. Oh no. I'm out there doing call outs. They're behind building one. Push.
behind building one.
What's wrong with you? Let's go.
I'm on your fucking team, you know, that type of shit.
And then I do a front flip over a barrier.
Oh no.
While shooting.
No, you're gonna get injured. You're gonna get
He already
injured.
has. We both
No,
did.
because here's the good news. I haven't overworked my body my entire life. This is like the first time that I've physically exerted it. So it's like still fresh.
Yeah. Just like
Guys,
so fresh.
I don't know where to take this conversation from here.
You just got to come with.
We just got to come. Dude, you got to come. Let's go. It's
don't
really
have
easy.
gear. I don't have
it's
gear,
easy.
and I'm not
It's
buying gear. I'm
super
not
easy.
buying.
Yes, you
I got gear for you. I got another
gear for
setup.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the
Matt's
headband. You're gonna have the war paint. Like it's going.
Don't forget
I
to
will
bring
say
my
this,
shit on.
I do
there.
remember in high school when I got into paintball, and I would just fucking tear people up because.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I was.
Here
I was
we go.
competitive.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
I was competitive, but I was
Let's
also
go.
in shape. I was skinny. I wasn't the fastest.
You don't. So here's
But I
the
could
thing
jump.
about it.
I could jump. I could almost dunk a ball.
Pro paintball, there are positions. So you play positions, and there's what's called home base, which I will very likely be playing. And that is the guy.
You're the guy that sits there.
You stand in the
Play
back.
paint.
You carry
Defense.
9 or 10 things of paint.
12.
And you just fucking lay.
Defense.
I'm the guy that runs around.
Defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent will tell you, I thought he was on the other team a couple weeks ago. I got so intense.
Right here. Just
I popped
right
around the
fucking here.
house. He turns and looks at me, and I put about 9 right on his chest.
Yeah. It was great.
Same team.
Makes no fucking
You got smoked in the chest by Buttsy?
Yep.
That sucks.
Shot the shit out of him.
Yeah. I was like, I was like, and then he goes, Matt, you got to come on Sunday, bro.
Yeah, in that moment, you just have to react. And you know what? Friendly
It's
fire
so
is
much
part
fun.
of war.
Guys, I don't know if I'm
It is
into
what it
this.
is. You're in.
Oh, you will be.
You will be. One game.
I mean, Buttsy saying that he has stuff for me to use.
He
It's
does.
enticing.
He does.
I do.
It's good setup too.
Do they edit the content for us?
Honestly, no, seriously. Like
I don't think
you don't
there's
even
any
really,
editing.
you really don't need it. Like you have the mounts. We've got the GoPros.
It's literally
and
like
shit.
watching live Call of Duty.
Yeah. No, it
Yeah.
really is, and it's
It is.
almost identical to actual like Call of Duty. I mean, it's the same shit.
I can't believe you guys are getting into this.
Like you're gonna see you're gonna see the camera, and you're behind a fucking structure, and you peek around to check, and then you go, oh fuck,
yeah.
and then
Yeah. And all you do is you just slice up. You don't even need to fuck with any of the audio or anything
Guys,
like that. You
I've
go,
seen
boop, boop,
American
boop.
Sniper. I know it goes down.
Yeah,
It's like
you've
American
practically
Gladiator.
been there.
I've seen Benghazi or whatever it was, 19 hours or something like that. That movie,
13,
that was crazy.
13 hours.
13 hours.
all
I
right,
gave him
I gotta
6 extra.
pee and poop right now.
Gentlemen. All right, here we go. You guys ready to on the call out here? You ready? 3, 2, 1.